All right. Today is Sunday, October 20th. I missed my podcast last week because if you follow me on my other social media channels, I was in hospital. They were holding me there with a bunch of things that I never encountered, having high blood pressure, things like that. But the most serious thing being I had a bad bout of pneumonia, and I really thought I would be in and out, and I actually was in the hospital for 4 to 5 days. Most boring shit I ever had in my life. Um, but one thing I did find out is to the importance of constantly keeping um, a health checkup. I used to think because I ate correctly. I've not eaten bad in the past maybe 15, 20 years. My meals are very planned out. They're very specific. They're very detailed, and they're very consistent. So I thought working out, eating healthy, and although those things helped a lot, I still could have caught a hold of some things before they got too out of whack with regular checkups, which I'll now be getting. I hate the hospital. I hated it before I went. I hate it now. And I'm going to hate when I have to go for regular checkups. But I am going to do it for the well being of my family and myself to make sure my health is intact. I can't build what I'm trying to build being sick or hospitalized or anything like that. So I do think at my age, which is mid 50s, I've had a great run. I've never been hospitalized. I've never been majorly sick, but I do think it's time to commit to regular health checkups just to keep things intact. I have a lot of plans coming up this year as far as returning to the stage, competing, and things like that. So I definitely feel I need to emphasize the importance of health and keeping good checkup on myself. That was why I didn't post last week, which is pretty much a letdown to me because I look forward to sharing my opinions with my audience that look forward to it. I have a lot of people that tune in, automatic downloads. I have people in different countries: Mexico, Brazil, UK, Australia, Canada, and I believe that I have an obligation to be available to always present to them the one thing that they obviously look forward to hearing, because I definitely have a lot of listeners that tune in. Statistically, I can keep count of who they are and where they're coming from. That being said, um, the thing that I wanted to share with you guys today is that as people, we place a huge importance on outside appearances: big house, big cars, fine clothes, nice furs, things like that. And also, our life, whether you realize it or not, is dictated by based on what other people's opinion are of us and what people believe we should be based on our economic status or where we live or whatever. And part of the problem is we never look inside. Every morning that you get up, you should look in the mirror and you should truthfully look in your own eyes. It's two people we can't lie to. We can't lie to ourselves, or we can't lie to God. Everybody else we can lie to. But you have to start auditing yourself, looking in the mirror, making sure you're being true to yourself, not to what other people think, because you'll never live up to what other people think. You do something that you think, oh wow, this is satisfying them, and they'll turn around to something else that you're not doing. It's just the way it is. I think it's extremely stupid to try to live a life based on what people think of you. It's more so, what do you think of you? And we pass these what do you call them, inhibitions down to our kids, our next generation, whatever. So um, you live a life based on trying to impress people, and these are the reasons that when we work at a job, we get a certain kind of car because they should see us in a certain kind of car. We get a raise, we get a big house, and usually these are things that we cannot afford. When you look within, everything starts and stops with happiness. You can't take cars with you. You can't take fur coats with you. You can't take money with you. You can't take any of those things when you go. So I think you need to start, or we all need to start, and that's audit ourselves first. That's look in that mirror and honestly ask ourselves the question of what will create happiness. Maybe some of us procrastinate too much. Maybe some of us have dreams that we've yet to pursue. Maybe some of us have insecurities that we don't want to face and we mask them with whatever that may be, drinking, hanging out, dressing like, whatever it might be. You'll find out so much when you start to audit yourself and look in that mirror and ask yourself the tough question when it's just you and you're by yourself. And these answers will start to come to you. And what we need to do as people is start to look at these answers that we are receiving. And we need to start building our life based on eliminating some of those things. I know when I started my journey, I was an extreme. I came from the streets, and all I knew growing up was violence. That was all I knew. Um, Everything I reacted with violence. Whereas you get older, that don't work anymore. When you don't live in the streets, that don't work anymore. And I had to do a lot of self searching and trace all the way back to the problem that created what I thought gave me the right to be this way. And come to find out, it's not who I am. It's not what I want to be. It's not what made me happy. So it was up to me to change it. Reading great books, uh, inner self perspective, praying, meditating, all those things allow you to get in touch with you. And once you get in touch with you, don't be afraid of the things you find, but yet embrace those things and start to work on those things. We have insecurities that we've had since we were kids. Whether it's your teeth was crooked, your hair was nappy, you had too much acne. Kids can be brutal. Um, a lot of those things carry on to uh, adulthood, and we don't even realize it. We go about every day and we live our lives and we mask these things and we cover these things up, and we never take time to slow down, look in that mirror, and start to understand who we are. And once you begin to understand and ask the tough questions of who you are, and those answers, I promise you, will be revealed. Start to work on those. Happiness is from inside out, not outside in. And a lot of people, that's why we have such this huge thing with weight loss surgeries. A lot of people feel like, oh, if I didn't weigh so much, they're self-conscious about their weight. If I didn't weigh so much and I got it off quick, I'd be happier. It's never going to make you happier. It'll make you appear better. It'll appease you for a minute, but it's never going to make you happy. You have to get down to the root problem of that. And I'm all for my personal trainer, so I'm all for being in great physical shape, but it's not going to provide you with the things that inner perspective thinking and working on self will do. Trust me, I know. A lot of people think it's bodybuilders. Oh wow, if I had that body, I'd be this or I'd be that. No, you wouldn't. A lot of the top bodybuilders in the world I've known, the Sean Rays, the Vince Taylors, the Dorian Yates, the Lee Haney's, Arnold. I've met and talked to them all. I'm actually good friends with quite a few of them. And what you will find is that most of these guys and women that possess the greatest physiques in the world are that's the lowest thing on the totem pole. They have other avenues of life, like I know Sean, who was known as having one of the greatest physiques ever, is a great father, a great family man, and that's even before he had kids and got married. That was all he used to talk about. The day when I have kids, I want to be prepared. I want to be this type of father. I want to be there for them in this way. Things like that. So it wasn't about, oh, I got a great physique and I can't wait till the next time I get on stage. Bodybuilder, this is what they do, it's not who they are. But a lot of people look at those things and they say, wow, if I had that, I hear it all the time with people coming into the club in the LCGA who came from overweight to being ranked one of the best amateur figure competitors in the world. And their excitement is based on, wow, if I looked like that. Whereas in reality, that's the least thing on her totem pole. She's a great mother, great spouse, learning and building her business and her brand. Rarely ever do she sit around and talk about, not even rarely ever, never does she sit around and talk about what such a great physique she has or how good she looks or anything like that. And that's the case with a lot of people that I know that are at the higher levels. You don't get there by being one dimensional. And as being a trainer, I see it a lot. People base so much of their wealth and energy and satisfaction into looking good because they believe if they look good, other people are going to think they look good and they'll be accepted. You'll never be accepted until you fix you. So as I try to talk to people as a trainer, I always try to focus more on the inner you, the things that you could do that make you a better you. Those are the things I focus on more than just the outer you, the tighter waistline, not the flabby hips. Because when you find inner peace, you'll get to find a way to make those things go away. But it doesn't work in reverse. You can't get in great shape and find inner peace. It's not going to work. You have to start from the inside out, and you have to value who you are, character, personality, traits, different things like that. You have to value those things. You have to work harder on those things than you ever do on the physical appearance of how you look or what size you wear or how big are your arms. I know people like that. They're very egotistical and very, for me, uncomfortable to be around because that's just not who I am. This physical gift that we were given from a higher source. And then higher source can take that away also. This could all be gone with one car accident. But I work on sharpening my mind to a state of positivity, and that can't be taken away. I can be a vegetable in a wheelchair and I will still have a positive mind. So what we need to do as people is we need to start holding each other up. We need to start looking in that mirror every day, and we need to start being honest with ourselves, and we need to start making adjustments on our inner being. We need to work on our inner as much as we try to work on our outer. And then we will start to see our life come into a balance that we like. A lot of people look in the mirror and they don't like what they see. I was one of those people. Now I look in the mirror and I love what I am becoming. I have a lot of work to go. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm not where I used to be. So every day I'm a work in progress, but I do work at it every single day. All right. So you have to excuse my voice. Like I said, I was sick last week. They actually told me don't work this week, which was ridiculous because I'm going to work. And I just wanted to reach out to you guys. my loyal listeners all over that tune in every week. And I just want to say, let's start working on our inner beings. Let's start working on being stronger as humans, and the rest of the things will come together. Until that time, I will catch you guys next week as I usually do, and I'll have more content. You're welcome to comment and let me know what you like to hear. But until the time next week, this is Sir-Earl, and I'm out. Peace.